to create a small community with other friends, but it was difficult. So at the end, we decided to create a YouTube channel, and in that channel, we can chat with other developers around Latin America.
So I'm joined today by Giovanny, who is the developer behind Evil Glitch, which we have a review up for, which there'll be a link in the description below if you want to learn more about what we think of the game. But we are here to learn a little bit more about the mind behind the game and what led him to build this game. So, Giovanni, thank you for agreeing to talk to us for a little bit about Evil Glitch.
Thank you, Jacob, for inviting me to the podcast.
Of course. So, to begin, for people that don't know what Evil Glitch is, can you give us a little bit of a pitch to introduce people to the concept of the game?
Okay, Evil Glitch is a 2D top-down shooter where you need to survive as long as possible to get the high score. It's very simple. It's just it has this retro aesthetics of the 80s. Try to simulate something like an old arcade. But it's very simple context. The concept is just survive as long as possible to all different waves of different enemies.
Awesome. The thing when I first heard about Evil Glitch from K-Bros Gaming, the thing that really caught my eye and made me raise my eyebrow and get interested was the discussion of how small this game is, and kind of a discussion of the program behind it. So if you could talk a little bit about why and how you made this game so small. Like, I don't know the exact size at this point in the game, but we're talking it can fit on a floppy disk small. So yeah,
sure.
If you could talk a little bit about that, I'm very eager to learn more.
Yeah, the game started as an entry for a game jam competition that is called JS 13 kilobytes. And the competition is about to create a game that is not bigger than 30 kilobytes. You can play it in a browser. So the game is written in JavaScript, and you can play it. There is an online version there in the competition. I am a software developer, software engineer, and I love to do JavaScript programs. And one of my inspiration is to be a game developer full time. So I participate in this game jam. Fortunately, the game won the game jam because other people like this game. And yeah, it's only 13 kilobytes because I try to put my skills to the, how do you say, the stress, to do the best as possible, to do this, and yes, it's pretty small, but you can fit it maybe in 100 copies on a floppy disk. But the bad thing about to put it in Steam is that you need to put that in a wrapper that comes in an executable file. So the game is still small. Right now it's around 20 kilobytes. But when you put it in Steam, you need to put a lot of stuff to make it executable. And then right now it's around 50 kilobytes, 50 megas. Yeah, it's not so cool. But every update of the game is just like 20 kilobytes, and it's the whole stuff. But the first thing when I made the game was for this game jam, and it's still very small.
Cool.
And the main thing with this is that you have the restriction that you can use any framework or any library. So you need to create your own framework with these small constraints, and it was the difficult part.
Right, and that leads in nicely to the next thing I kind of wanted to ask about, which is the aesthetics of the game. Like you mentioned, are very 80s retro arcadey. But I wondered how much of that was just a love for that aesthetic and how much of that was serving the mechanics of the game. You know, the building your own framework. Did that lead nicely into that aesthetic choice, or was it something you knew you were going to make look like the 80s when you started?
No, yeah, I think it's something that works for this game because as you can have any file, any assets for the game, you need to draw it all with only code. That at the end are only lines there. But in terms to make it prettier, I decided to put this aesthetic like at the beginning I want something that looks like neon, like Geometry Wars, for example. But at the time I just trying different stuff, different shaders. I realized that it looks cool, like this retro feel. Yeah, I started. Okay, I can build something around this. Yeah, as the game is pretty simple, my idea was okay. I can build a game that looks like a game from 30 years ago.
Mm.
But yeah, that was only discovering the things, and because of the restrictions, I just trying to figure out how to make these restrictions works for me at the end in that game jam.
Cool. Kind of moving from Evil Glitch itself to not quite talking about your history, but you're based out of Bogota, and you've been part of the growing indie scene in that area. I wondered if you just kind of talk about growing the indie scene in that part of the world. It's not something that I've necessarily heard a lot about, and I think probably a lot of people don't know much about how the game dev scene is growing in Bogota. So just if you wanted to talk a little bit about what the scene looks like, that would be cool, I think.
No, actually, there is no scene here. It's too difficult. There are small companies that actually works for some games. There was the software development team for Arc, where they were based here. Yeah, but they didn't make a game by itself. Just worked like they worked only for other studios outside. There's also small other companies like Brains that make other games, but yeah, there is no such a scene here. Not like, for example, in Argentina or Buenos Aires. There's a lot of indie devs there. So the thing here, I tried to create a small community with other friends, but it was difficult. So at the end, we decided to create a YouTube channel, and in that channel, we can chat with other developers around Latin America. So we chat with people from Argentina, from Mexico, and try to make the things that connect to other persons in Latin America. The advantage is all of us speak Spanish, and so it's easier for us to communicate.
Yeah, of course. Cool. Well, so tell me a little bit about what drew you to start developing games. You kind of mentioned you're a software engineer, so you have a background in the tech, but what made you take the leap, so to speak?
No, as a child, I want to create games. I decided to learn about software development, trying to create video games. And when I started my career, I make some experiments, but was maybe 3 years ago, I met a person that actually learned a lot about game design, and he explained me a lot of things because I try to create games, but I haven't any idea about game design. So only programming. So I decided, okay, I need to learn about not just programming. Also, I need to start to learning about game design. So I started this maybe 2-3 years ago with a friend. And yeah, we started to make these things. And also we started the community I told you and the YouTube channel. Yeah, it's like a process, and I decided, okay, I want to do this game. The Build Glitch is like a proof of concept, the things that I learned before. I just want to try if it's like a graduate project.
Yeah.
I just put it just to test this knowledge that I have learned these years.
Cool. Well, I think it's been successful, having played the game. So what were some games that were inspirational for you, either recently or when you were growing up, that really kind of captured your imagination?
No, my great inspiration for this game is Devil Daggers.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I played this game maybe 1 year ago, and I was crazy about this game. I really like that. And at the end, I discovered, okay, this game is pretty simple. At the concept, it's just to survive as much as possible. Hours and hours of different demons, and the game is always the same. And the only thing that you continue are playing is because you want to get a high score, a better score, beat your friends. And I decided, okay, I want to do something similar because I really like this feeling, and that's the reason I decided to create this. It's just a 2D version of Devil Daggers. That was my presentation at the beginning, and also I like these aesthetics that have geometry boards, the neon theme, and that are my two references. But yeah, my biggest reference is Devil Deckers.
Cool.
Actually, the code name is Devil Glitches, I think.
Cool. So to kind of bring things to a close, we always like to ask developers we talk to what indie projects out there now are really capturing their eye, what is they're really excited for to see come out. So what indie games or indie dev teams projects are you really interested in right now?
Okay, there is a game that actually I really like the concept. It's called Henrik. It's from a studio from other city here in Colombia, Bucaramanga. It's called Below the Game, the studio. And in this game is like a puzzle, but you have different words in a like a poem, like a text, and you need to change the words to unlock the different things in the puzzle. It's something like a Scrabble notes. I really like the concept, and I think it's very nice.
Cool, excellent. Well, Giovanny, thank you for talking to us a little bit about Evil Glitch and your background. As we said, we've got a review out for Evil Glitch, and it is available now on Steam. You can find all the links to that below in the comments. And thanks again for sharing your story.
Thank you, Jacob.